I tried Assassin's Creed Valhalla after all the negative press about it. Reviews in the internet have deceived me. One day, as I was browsing the Steam page looking for a new game to add to my already quite large assortment of games, I spotted a Ubisoft publisher sale. 15 euros for AC Valhalla. I was looking for a game with exploration potential, and having just finished Mirage, while Baghdad is truly wonderful, the map is quite small and huge sand dunes get old relatively quickly. So I said what the fuck, spent the money waiting to refund it as quick as I bought it, and what in Odin's name have I stumbled upon? Before we start, I will say that I haven't finished Valhalla yet. I am somewhere around 28 hours in, and am taking my sweet time with it. So, I am an AC fan at heart. Not a diehard per se, but more of a casual fan. My first game was Assassin's Creed 3 that I loved and is still my all-time favorite to this day. I played others in the series as well, but 3 is the one I invested all of my time back on this old thing. Nonetheless, I stopped playing when the RPGification, looterification of AC started happening. I was also at that time starting to focus more on other types of games like online and competitive games. But at some point, I gave it a shot with Odyssey, got way too overwhelmed with the size, the loot, and the new leveling system, and I left after about 20 hours and haven't touched the series since. The newest game in the series I played was Assassin's Creed Mirage. Did I like it mechanically? Yes, absolutely. It reminded me of the old games, but with better graphics. Story-wise, I was slightly disappointed with the pacing of it. The theme and the basis of the story were great. Execution and pacing? Not the greatest. That didn't stop me from enjoying it though. In fact, I enjoyed it quite a lot. It's a more traditional Assassin's Creed game despite everyone disagreeing with that very statement and will most likely crucify me because of it. But to me it was. It had a solid stealth system, the new wanted system was innovative and unique, and the loot wasn't in abundance like in the RPG Assassin's Creed games. That's kinda what got me to try Valhalla in the first place. One review said it didn't have as much loot as Odyssey.
There's so little loot available in this game. It no longer drops from enemies and it isn't randomized. It's static pieces that can generally only be looted from chests.
So I took that as a silver lining and like that little push towards trying it. Which brings me to the topic we're discussing today, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and how reviews painted it in my eyes as a game never to be touched if you're a true old school fan. Well, I committed the great heresy of touching it. Hell, I played it for 28 hours and loved everything about those 28 hours, so much so that those 28 hours will turn into more and more hours.
A new kingdom awaits.
From here to Valhalla, I will always be on your side, Sigurd. Always.
Loading up into the game, I went into it with the "this game is gonna suck" mentality, because everything I heard about the game so far was negative. I did the tutorial, I set sails for England, I found a plot of land after killing the sorry sack of shit who owned it before me, and set out to conquer England. At this point, my mind was already at war. It held these two ideas of, I'm an old school Assassin's Creed fan, I should not be enjoying this as much as I am, and I just raided an entire camp. This was fucking awesome. And mind you, I think this was maybe 2 or 3 hours into the game. After that, I was like, alright. That might have been fun. But everyone said the stealth is terrible in this game. How can an Assassin's Creed game be an Assassin's Creed game with terrible stealth? So I started to level up the Raven part of the skill tree and switched the one-shot assassination toggle on, because that's what assassinations should be like. After doing all that, I made it my mission to try and do things the Assassin's Creed way, and carefully kill every enemy without anyone noticing me. It took some time getting used to the rules of the game, but once I figured it out, I had once again a blast. I will admit though, stealth is not that smooth. In fact, it is clunky at times. Sometimes it did get detected because of a bullshit reason or an enemy who spotted me miles away, but those were the exceptions, not the status quo. The social stealth is a neat idea, but again, it's really clunky to the point I stopped using it reliably and only used it when necessary because enemies, once they detect you, they immediately alert everyone around them, and then it's just a straight up fight. So I would say cool idea, just not very well executed. So on the topic of stealth, is it flawless? No. Is it downright terrible? Also no. It's nothing special to write home about. It's good enough, so that's all I'll say. I had fun playing stealthy. Okay, fine, then the characters must be terrible, right? At least that. Wrong there again. Eivor is surprisingly a good character. I liked him and the way he interacted with the world. His interactions with other characters is surprisingly natural.
Eivor, what was your impression of Erke?
You suspect him of something?
I don't know. Whoever killed Trigo was a close friend, and it was Erke who found the body. I know Erke so well, and I can't bear to think he'd do something so vile. But...
Then do not. Wait for proof before you condemn your friend.
forgive me. My latest thoughts have been restless.
I think the male voice actor for Eivor did an amazing job. Other characters like Basim or Hatham or King Oswald, I like all of them. Basim since I played Mirage. I like seeing where he ended up after the events of Mirage, and the fact he met Sigurd somewhere along his journey is really cool. Roshan, even though she made a short appearance for just one mission, I think it was also pretty awesome. Although it does clash a little bit with the story of Mirage lore-wise. I don't want to spoil anything, I just want you to keep that in mind. Hatham was also great as he shows Eivor the ways of the assassins after Basim gave his blessing for Eivor to get the hidden blade. He has all the qualities of an initiate assassin, still driven by and full of respect for the creed.
Mentor, I must protest. This is deeply unorthodox. Our wrist blade is a sacred
Do
tool.
not make a fetish out of cold metal, Hatham. What matters is the mind of the one who wields it. Please, try it on.
In a way, similar to the way Basim was when he was first starting out. Young King Oswald had his whole little character arc in one of the regions, starting as an incompetent king, but with Eivor's help he learned what it means to be a ruler. But okay, at this point I was looking for something, literally anything to which I can say, my god, they were right, this game blows. I found nothing of the sort. Like, I like the stories broken down into a few different smaller stories that work towards a bigger narrative. And I hear you screaming, but that's what Mirage did and you said the pacing was terrible. What gives? Valhalla's mini stories or arcs have variety to them. First region I got allies in, there was a traitor in the clan that led the Saxons through a secret tunnel into the village. You had to take back the village and collect evidence to find out who was the traitor, and the game didn't hold your hand here because once you found all the evidence, there was no prompt that said, yes, person X did it, or something along those lines. There was still a possibility of you fucking up. Mirage had mini stories which were just investigations in a menu, consisting of 3 missions, and then the game tells you, yes, this man is the killer and you have to kill him. Like, yeah, no shit. You didn't give me an alternative to actually think for myself. I enjoyed that specific investigation in Valhalla. Another one of my favorites, King Oswald's arc. A boy who doesn't yet know how to be a king, so Eivor has to help him become a worthy warrior to impress his soon-to-be Norse wife and her family, and even though the story is short, you get to see the development from a king no one respected to the king everyone rallied behind as he gets rid of the clan that's been terrorizing the kingdom. My point is, I like Valhalla's short stories. I can help out one region, see a fun little story in 2 to 3 hours, and then turn the game off to go do something else. And when you're a college student with a funky looking schedule, you appreciate a short story or two in between study sessions.
And here's what you have to understand. We don't even expect you to be good, we just want you to be watchable. Do you have any idea how low our expectations are?
Making this video was never about bashing reviewers who gave this game a negative score or trying to convince you this game is the Second Coming of Christ. Nothing of the sorts. It's a video game about Vikings, assassins, and conquering England one province at a time. What I wanted you to get out of this video was, don't let reviewers and people online convince you something is terrible just because they didn't like it. Of course, there are exceptions. Looking at you, Battlefield 2042, that game at launch was downright broken, and the outrage was justified, even though the game is great now. But this game got hate because it wasn't a conventional Assassin's Creed game old school players were used to. Valhalla has its flaws, there's no denying that. But saying it's the worst game in the franchise is... it's a bit of a stretch. With the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows in a month or so, I already see videos like this pop up, followed by the oh so original comments of Ubisoft is cooked or RIP Ubisoft. I've watched some of those videos and have once again felt ashamed for looking forward to a game because the majority apparently can't wait for it to release and flop so they can once again scream RIP Ubisoft. So take a page out of my book, and if you're looking forward to a game, even if the reception isn't good, don't let the naysayers destroy your fun. It's important to inform yourself, of course, but their words shouldn't be treated as the final word on the game's quality. If you like it, you play it and have fun with it. Don't let anyone ruin your fun. But most importantly, stay safe out there.